Buying storage units is a business that can lose you thousands in a day and gain you thousands in a day. Last video, we talked about the top 10 worst storage units we've ever bought, and it was suggested by a lot of you guys to make a video showing the best top 10 storage units that we bought. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get into it. Number 10 on this list, surprisingly enough, is the first storage unit we ever bought. So weirdly enough, we had about $500 saved, and when we saw one, we said we were gonna buy it no matter what. We bought it, it didn't look that pretty, it really didn't. But as we started moving stuff, there was a good 6 boxes of collections of records, CDs, and all other types of music. I'm talking probably 600 records in there. Artists like Michael Jackson and other big names that sold the same day for multiple times when we paid for the unit. Basically, all said and done, the first time we did it, we spent $160 and we came out within 3 days at around $1,500. And that day forward, I was like, I'm in love. I love this. Number 9. This unit is special in my heart because it wasn't the most valuable one, but it was something I've been looking for since I started this business. Now this came after about 100 or more units that we bought. We bought a $100 unit in Virginia, and finally, for the first time, came across our first little bullet throwing device. Now, being someone to watch these shows on TV, you think it's gonna come all the time, but it took us about 100 to 120 units to find our first one. It wasn't that expensive, it was only about a $300 to $350 gun, but we only spent $100 on a unit, and just to finally find one in there that was in great condition, it was one of the most satisfying feelings, and I'm like, finally, check that off the list because that's what I've been looking for this whole time. Number 8. Now this one's a little bit different. So this was a $20 unit. We put out, weirdly enough, April 11th last year, which was our anniversary. So that was kind of weird timing. But there was a $20 unit. The big thing in the unit, we found $160 cash, that was cool, $140 up on 20 bucks. But the crazy part is what this unit did for us on YouTube. This video to this day has over 4.5 million views, gained our channel over 30,000 subscribers. Not to mention, this one unit that we paid $20 for netted us over $30,000 in just ad revenue on YouTube. So anytime you can take 20 bucks and turn that into 30,000, I say that's a good day. I don't know about you, but to me, I call that a good day. Number 7. This is a really weird unit, but it always stands out to me because I almost lost it all. So we paid $100 for a unit. We were going through it and it was your normal household stuff, a couple $100 worth of stuff, nothing too amazing. But there was a Coke can that we almost threw. We literally tossed it aside. Come to find out when we're going through stuff later on, that it was actually a stash can. People usually use these to hide drugs and other things in, but this person had used it to hide 22 karat gold rings in that were worth over $3,000. I forgot how many of them were in there, I think like 5 or 6. But anyway, 2 days later, we got over $3 grand out of jewelry in a unit that we paid $100 for, that we were this close to just throwing it away because it looked and felt, even the weight was right, of just a regular Coke can. So I just assumed they threw it in there and forgot about it. We almost threw away thousands of dollars. Make sure you check every little thing in a storage unit. And when I say every little thing, I mean every little thing. Number 6. Now these next two, we're gonna get a little bit off track because they were epic hauls, but they weren't quite found in storage units. I call this the Five Below haul. So for you guys that have been watching our channel for a long time, you know years ago, we used to record a lot of dumpster diving videos because retail stores throw out thousands of dollars of merchandise on the regular. And when we added it all up, I think it was between $3,500 and $4,500 in brand new merchandise. Everything you could think of, toys, decor, clothes, shoes, everything for free. Didn't pay anything for it. Since we didn't pay anything for it, we didn't actually end up selling it all. We actually ended up donating it all to the Children's Hospital because a lot of the stuff they were looking for was a lot of stuff we had, which kind of makes me mad. They're looking for it and you can give it to them for free, but you throw it away. But that's a whole nother story. We found it all and ended up donating all of it. But it was, let's say, $4,000 worth of brand new stuff for free. That is better than pretty much almost all the storage units we bought so far. So don't think you're above looking in a trash can. You never know when it can change your life. Number 5. Again, it's the only other one that's a little off track, but this is out of a dumpster too. For you guys that have been subscribed to us for a very long time, you might remember this one because I think this was within our first 15 videos on this channel. We had maybe 1,000 subscribers, but in a Barnes & Noble dumpster. Still to this day, we still get comments saying that people don't believe this, but I swear to you, with everything in me, this came out of their dumpster. It was boxes and boxes of brand new toys, brand new, like 50 pop figures, 50 some action figures, all kinds of toys, everything you can think of in their store. Brand new, still in boxes. See, when Barnes & Noble throw stuff away, they put it in a box and seal it, and then they throw it away. Why? I don't know, but every time I found their stuff at a bunch of their stores, it's always been like that. But I'm sure this was $4 to maybe as high as $5,500 worth of toys in their dumpster. Not to mention probably another 7 or 8 boxes of brand new books, which we just took the second in Charles and got like $200 for. But the toys, again, were all donated because back then, I don't know, that was just way too overwhelming for us. We weren't in the situation we're in now. We had a very small subscriber base. We didn't really know what to do with it all. So we figured, why not make some other people happy and donate it all? But still, $5 grand worth of brand new stuff from looking in a dumpster, I call that a good haul. Number 4. Now this was a pretty recent unit, but this one I like to call our military unit. So we found a unit that belonged to some sergeant that we seem to just not exist. We couldn't find anything about him anywhere. But even after returning the personal stuff to one of the Marine recruiter's office, this unit was gold. We only paid $50, and by the next day we have already sold $1,600 worth of stuff on eBay. Already, less than 24 hours, turning $50 into $1,600. But that's not where it stops. Still to this day, 2 months later, we are still pretty much getting at least 3 to 4 sales every single week from that unit. And I say total at $50 has produced us well over $3,500. Closer to $4,000, and it's been 2 or 3 months ago. So some of it sold right off the bat, while a lot more of it is just gonna consistently selling over time, more and more and more. But that was an easy, like I said, 3.5 grand off of $50. Number 3, surprising enough, this was our second storage unit ever. Can you believe 2 of our best storage units ever were the first 2 we ever bought? That's kind of hard to believe, right? But it's the truth, and you can understand why we got hooked in this. So we bought a unit for $70, which I told her we were gonna go at least $400 on because there's that much in tools sitting at the front. So when it went off for $70, I was like, woo, we got a good one. We got in there and it was great. Brand new AC was like $100 in there. There was I can't remember, all kinds of tools. We were making all kinds of money going through it. When I come across an envelope that has a bunch of $2 bills in it, like 30 some dollars worth of $2 bills, so I was like, sweet, cash. So we're already super happy. We get home, and when we get home, we go through this stuff in more detail. And in some of the bills, this guy had put money, like cash money in from a long time ago. Some of those bills were like from the 80s, and they were in like pristine condition. Super old bills that had been in there for who knows how long. But long story short, we ended up with around $800 in US cash, and I forgot how much in another country's money that we ended up taking to a currency exchange, getting another around $100 in cash. But when it was all said and done, for $70, we ended up with around $900 in cash. You remember, cash is always king. Cash is king in this business. So $900 cash, right there, we turned $50 or $70 into close to 2 grand. And just that feeling of finding cash just never goes away. It's so exciting. It's such a thrill, and I can't explain it to you. But it was definitely one of our best units ever. Number 2. So we bought this unit last year. We spent $250 on it. This could end up being the number 1. This might be the one a lot of you guys that watch this expect it to be number 1, but right now it's number 2, and I'll explain why. So we found this unit and we started opening up boxes, and every single box was just loaded with vintage video games. We found a Nintendo with a crap ton of games, Super Nintendo, crap ton of games, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, original Xbox, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, Sega. Found like pretty much every system you could think of. Plus there was another handheld one that we found that was vintage and sold on eBay for like $200 the next day. But anyway, video games alone, within a week, we had made close to $1,700 just selling the games, which I was freaking psyched. But then the last thing we look at in the unit happened to be these copper panels, which I didn't think anything of at all. I just thought they were just some decor that came from a store somewhere. Apparently they're done by a famous artist named Rudy Hanel, if that's the name. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But there's only 25 or so of them ever made in the world. And the one was appraised at $25,000, and that was 15 or so years ago. Since then, the artist has passed away. So usually with art, when the artist passes away, the value goes up. The problem is none of the galleries we've contacted, and we have contacted a lot of them, deal in this artist. So they're still sitting in our house like almost a year later. Like I said, it could end up being our biggest jackpot ever, but right now, we're still sitting with those panels because none of these galleries deal with them. I don't know the best way to sell them. I'm scared if I put them on eBay, they're gonna go really low and I'm gonna regret it. And someone's gonna find a gallery somewhere. It's just, if those end up being worth even a quarter of what they say, it's huge money for a $250 unit. Number one, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys expected this one because it just happened to us like 2 weeks ago, is that autograph storage unit, which was just mind-blowing. So this is during the quarantine. We can't go to live auctions. We're looking at online only because that's the only we can do. This one was like over 100 miles away and it went up to $500. So I was like, oh, I feel like this is a bad idea. But was it the best idea I made in a long time? Yes, it was. So we spent $500 on the unit. Right off the bat, there's a wedding box in there. They still have the cards in there. $360 or $80, something like that, was still in there. So right off the bat, we took our cost from $500 down to a little over $100, which was awesome. And every box we opened in that unit was solid, just gold. Autographs and collectibles and everything you could think of. It was just like watching the TV show, really. That was the unit. That's something you'd see on TV, and it just doesn't, it was unreal knowing that we really got one like this. Like, I just was like almost in shock. Every single box was full of signed records, signed CDs, signed pictures, signed memorabilia, collectibles, 6 boxes of comics, and just full boxes of like 200 books too. So I mean, over 1,000 comics. It was just insane. We still haven't got through everything in that unit, and we've made right around $5,000 on that storage unit so far. Easy, and we still have quite a bit more to go through. We haven't even got the furniture and stuff out of the van to list it yet. That's how bad it is. But the collectibles and the comics have been crushing it. Right, I think, like I said, $5,000 so far, and we still have quite a bit more from that unit to go. So I'm saying when it's all said and done, it's gonna be close to $7,000, $8,000 on that $500 unit. And it was just, it was insane. It was just insane, the best ever. That is the 10 best hauls that we've personally ever had. Let us know down in the comments below which ones you remember, and the links to all of those videos will again be down in the comments. If you missed them and you want to go back and check them out, make sure you do that because they were insane, and the excitement on our faces is something to go back and watch if you haven't yet, guys. So anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, leave it a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, peace out.